E from MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose if you're playing this game. Thank you, Zeke. T1 today, 64.5. Stolen range, meaning that a lot of this was done overnight. We said, let's look at this as next objective for the long side to try to get to that 63.5. That's why 62.5 to 65, the resistance zone, meaning make sure you get paid if you're long side coming into this target, and expected resistance just above us. So now we get to move this idea, right, top of the pipe, and say this is our resistance and this is our support in that big box. Anybody long side, make sure you are paid coming into T1, 64.5. And who knows whether there's anything left here or not. We are focused on the supports because we believe we're bouncing. And we're now going to take and move all of these up one. Okay, and this is an actual chart based on the monthly range, not a theoretical, but an actual. So now we can say this has been our fighting box. This is our new resistance box. And I'd say at the open, right after the open, let's use 52 as our, now move any stops up. You had them at 37.5, move them to 52. So this is a and great illustration of the idea of about 100-point trade. And then because of that, law of proportion said, well, you can get 40, 50, or 60 back. Right? So here's your 40, here's your 50, here's your 60 back. And personally, I think it's too rich to get back up here to the 75 right now. But anything goes. There's a squeeze type trade. Let's take a look at a couple other charts that are important. So you can see where, although we are ahead of ourselves, it's following a very fast pace. This is the squeeze part of the trade. Get above rain and then squeeze. All systems go. Multiple gap situations. Is a gap and squeeze type open. We'll talk about that. Business inventories at 10, thank you. Bots have changed the game. You really need to be unemotional. Close your eyes and buy if you like the momentum trade. Take stop outs if you're wrong. Last night, someone had suggested it felt weak. I said, I think that we've got traders on the hook and they're going to squeeze the short side. That was just an educated guess. Taking a look at our 30. Here's our 30 Globex. And basis this chart, paid for sure. 62.5 to 65.5. Squeeze type trade. And we can go to any high on a day like today, the squeeze. But I said I thought the mid 60s would be first, and above that, good fortune. Because T1 64 and a half. And this normally is what the boys try to do, this line that I put on here earlier. Try to knock that high out. And that's a double top-ish, just below, just above. And that's about a 40-point bounce off of the lows. And which I'd said the other day, I said, don't forget, on Friday I posted that, don't forget, 100 down means we can get 40, 50, or 60 back. So this is usually the minimum you'll expect if indeed we've got, a reversal here. And the key to understanding this reversal is understanding that once we took out the 56.75 and stay above it, then it's a continuation trade. That's why I said don't be stubborn as a short. Second or third mouse may get the cheese today. NQ is squeezing much higher also. Looks like about a 50-point push. Paid for sure, 65 and a half. Started with this 49 and the 58, 59 area, and then we said the 63, 64 zone. Now, obviously, we've got to slide it up one more time. Just the way we're going to do it. What else can you do? Step by step. You let the market tell you where the next level is. And I said 52s. Let's use the 52s as stops from there. Got about a 10, 11-point swing from the open. And it's about as far as I thought we would get in the first hour or so. Already it's showing that we can go to any high. Goal, of course, is trying to knock out this high back here. Right there, that high at 66 and a quarter. It's a double top area. pretty funny. That was my daughter. She's down in Key Largo with her kids and husband and a dog, and they're having a ball. And whenever she calls, I pick up because you never know when there's something needs to be done to help somebody in the family. But she was just checking on me. She forgot it was Monday. She thought it was Sunday. She said, I lost track of time. So she is 66 and a quarter taken out. Law of proportion says once we get above this high, we can go any place. Got all of this to work with up here, but this is that resistance zone. We're retesting this breakdown right here. Anyways, they're having a ball, and she was just calling to check on me and make sure I was okay. I was getting up to eat. And very thoughtful of her. So this zone right in here is typically a zone that the boys are going to aim for. As a retest of this breakdown, that's the double that broke. And the squeeze trade. So I said today, you cannot be a hero. If we get momentum coming up, we're 10 points above, 11 points above that prior high. And I said, I didn't think we'd get to 70 this morning, but hey, you never know. Anyways, we had suggested potential next target could be that 68s. We got those. We've been paying attention to support because we're bouncing. My suggestion, make sure you are paid by this 67 to 68. If you're going to short today, you are guessing, especially without a demon. But my guess right now is let's use 72 to 75 as stops for shorts. Thank you, Zeke. Brian, I'm sorry. Thank you, Brian. And you can see where we've selected the 68.5 as the next target in the zone. This is not the typical back end. The back end is actually 73.5. And then the extremes up here. So I'm suggesting paid by these 68s anyways. And let's use this next zone right here, 72 to 75. Anybody wants to short, use that as your stop. All right, so here's our 68.25 and our 26.5 low. In the middle now is this 47.5. From this swing from the low back up, and we are testing this breakdown, and typically basis this range that we had talked about. We've gotten above the 54, gotten above the 61s, taken out this high, come back and we're retesting, and then this is the back end resistance for now. So paid for sure. Anybody got 62s to 65s? Paid for sure. Trailers are coming up above that. And as such, this 52 is support that we've called until broken. I'm going to keep it there, 52s. And here's that 30-minute chart that we were looking at. And again, because we paid attention to support, said I think we're bouncing, and as such, we want to pay attention to support. Got a nice healthy bounce off of this low from last night, and a lot of it, stolen range. Now we're switching gears to a 10-minute chart, RTH. And we want to be conservative as we approach this next resistance zone. A perfect conundrum for traders who thought we got them now, we're going to crash. And for the longs now who are also thinking, okay, we got the shorts, we're going to kill them. Because in reality, this is a contra against that big push. And the way you see that is to come back in and look at your monthly. Because we can see this was one heck of a swing. And now we've got a pretty good size push back into the middle of this. So we can go any high through this proportion wise. First, you got to get back here, that 63, 64 area. Then the next one is this 75, 75.5. And we're saying for now, let's use that as our resistance. And that's a target for the boys. And like I said, I thought it'd be a bit rich to get up into the 70s this morning during IB, but I'm not a bot. What can I say? Bots don't care about that. Anyways, anybody that's into that 62, 65 paid and above that, I'm considering good fortune. So step by step, we've been able to look at this and understand our sequence trades. All right, so at this point, all stops should be up to that 58 area, right? Think about this. We had the breakout at 57, 56.75. So you can put it below it, but why give back, 10 points? That doesn't make sense. But that's where I'm going to think right now that above that, that's 56.75, 57 area is the key now going forward. Can we continue to squeeze or not? Got to penetrate back into Friday's high before anything good starts to happen for the shorts.